make sure you have a listen to this a few times. Really work hard on developing one S.O.P per week, and you're on your way to developing a systemized business, an operations manual perhaps, and your business will be better for it. And of course, I would like to think that your profitability would be there and you would have a better lifestyle, and the business is going to pay you a dividend for the hard work that you are doing, which you are well deserved of. How old are you going to be before you start to experience life like you want it? I want to tell you right now, whether you like it or not, there is a better way to do business. Hi everyone, welcome to the Business for Builders podcast. Great to have you with me right now. Appreciate you tuning in and lending me your eyes and or ears. My name's Max. I'm your host. I'm the CEO here at Smith & Sons here in Canada. I'm also the founder of Elite Business Advisory. I run a coaching business in that regard, specializing in the construction industry. If you're a hairdresser, I would love to chat with you about coaching you in your business. I think it would be exciting. It'd be something different because currently I'm dealing with all construction operators who are awesome folks, just by the way. Righto, we're going to get started real quick. Make sure if you haven't checked out episode 169 and you've just dropped into episode 170, this may not make a lot of sense to you, so you need to just back up one episode and go and check out 169. So 169, 170, and 171, we're running a three-part series on a bit of an overview on standard operating procedures for a general contractor. Right, so don't forget, get across to Business for Builders VIP. Answer the questions for me there, folks. And if you're a good sort, we'll let you in, all that kind of good stuff. If you want to email me, got a question or two at the most, please, then shoot me an email, max@elitebusinessadvisory.com. If you want to chat with me a little bit about a strategy session around, hey, what does a coach do? How do you help me develop my business? All that sort of good stuff. Get across to elitebusinessadvisory.com, hit the book a consultation button, and we'll sit together for half an hour and just thrash out some strategies, look at what you're doing and maybe how you can do it better going forward. Don't forget, like and subscribe, and leave me a comment. I love to jam with you guys on the interwebs as well. Don't forget, this is something I haven't announced for a while. I don't know why I just thought of it. Don't forget, get across to the Business for Builders TikTok page. And yours truly's on there, just shouting out a few hardcore concepts, and it's good for a bit of a laugh. How about checking us out over there as well? Right, so part 2 of a 3-part series as it relates to standard operating procedures. I'm going to get started straight away. So if you've got the intro already from episode 169, you're good to go. So number 5, subcontractor management. Now, this is like onboarding. If you're in Australia, they've got a thing called SWMS, SWMS. Safe work method statement, I think it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong. Hit me in the comments, send me an email. But you know what we're talking about is we've got to onboard our guys. Now, part of that is we've got to make sure all of that safety documentation is in place. We've got to make sure that they understand what our invoicing times and terms are, when our payments are. They've got to understand that no purchase order, no payment. So don't come to me and just decide to issue me an invoice because it won't fly. Those purchase orders are like money. So what I'm talking about here is developing standard operating procedures for subcontractor management, which would include onboarding. So point number 5, subcontractor management. Point number 1, clearly define roles and responsibilities for subcontractors. Point number 3 is establish communication protocols with subcontractors. How do you want them to talk to you? Who's the point of contact? What is the response length of time going to be? All that sort of wonderful stuff. Monitor subcontractor performance and adherence to timelines. That's super important. Right. Point number 6, or standard operating procedure number 6, is communication protocols. Okay. Point number 1 inside of number 6 is establish clear communication channels within the team. Point number 2 is implement regular project update meetings. And then point number 3, document all project-related communications. Guys, one of my core values is that I value open, honest communication. And, the other part of that, the other core value is we respond quickly. And I think it's so important that, we've got to make sure that our level of communication is up there. It's definitely one of my pet hates. Matter of fact, I had a certain phone provider or whatever. I sent him a text message last Thursday, and he had an excuse. He was in Las Vegas on a business trip and couldn't text me back. I like the guy. I think he's all right, but that's a pile of horse shit. Not good enough. That was 5 days ago. Forget about it. Not happy about that. So when it comes to doing business with certain people, that would be a turnoff. That'd be a red flag. I said, I'd be like, mate, if that's the best you got because you're a little bit distracted and you can't find 5 seconds to send me a text going, Max, thanks for your text message regarding your inquiry. I'm in Vegas. I'll be back. Can I get back to you on Tuesday next week? Or just address the bloody issue that I put on the text message. Now, nothing against old mate, but I just have a high standard because it's a core value of mine. Anyway, that's all about communications. Remember, folks, we are putting together in our Dropbox file, preferably, so it's cloud-based, the list of 12 standard operating procedures that I'm currently going through, which were definitely in episode number 169, but should be in the show notes. We're pretty much cut and paste all of those notes from these different 3 episodes. So look in the show notes. You've got to create inside of your Dropbox a standard operating procedure file. Inside of that file, you want to create this list of 12 as a little bit of a starter, a little bit of, okay, what are you banging on about? I know I need the good systems, but how do I do that? Well, this is what this 3-part series is all about. Okay, point number 7 is change order procedures. That's point number 7. Point number 1 inside of point number 7 is develop a standardized process for handling change orders. Point number 2 is clearly communicate changes to all relevant parties. Point number 3 is document changes and adjust project plans accordingly. Folks, I know guys that don't even have paperwork for change orders, let alone a standard operating procedure for change orders, okay? I know that it is not... You don't do a lot of change orders, but folks, you can get blindsided if you don't have a change order protocol set out, because you will forget stuff and then you'll forget to invoice. And what we're talking about is running high performance, highly profitable, safe and secure building companies. And when we're not keeping our eye on the ball as far as change orders and the procedures and protocols outlined above, that's going to let us down significantly. More often than not, it's going to take money out of our pocket. That's not what we want. So be sure to make sure. Now, it's funny because change order procedures, part of your change order procedures, protocols, and policy in our contract, in our change order policy, there is 2 spots for 2 initials in the event that there's 2 clients, and normally there's only 2. We do residential remodeling. Part of your standard operating procedure outside of that will be contract administration and how to fill out a contract. And certainly within that contract administration, which we're going to get onto in the next episode, document control / contract administration, there needs to be something there as it relates to ensuring that you get initials. Don't just race through the contract proposal or presentation and not get those initials done, because clients love to say, what do you mean you're charging me $250 for a change order? I didn't know about that. Well, if I present you the contract, if I do the contract presentation, I'm not leaving page 7 until you put your little squiggle on there, because I want to make sure that you and I have talked about it. Yes, we have, and you acknowledge that, and then it's on the record. Safe and secure, because folks, you know the deal. If it's not in writing, doesn't exist. Okay, so 8th point, number 8, the last one for this episode, is material and equipment managing. So we want to implement point number 1 inside of point number 8 is implement procedures for inventory control. Point number 2 is we want to establish protocols for equipment maintenance and inspection. Super important that we keep our equipment all well lubed and oiled and up to speed. And then point number 3 there is monitor and control material waste. We've got, if you're a part of Elite Business, or if you had subscribed to the 21 Silver Bullet Academy, which I would encourage you to get across to. If you're in a position where you go, you know what, I haven't got a lot of money, the Silver Bullet Academy on elitebusinessadvisory.com. Oh, goodness, is that /academy? I think it is. Get across there. It's a very, very minor investment that you've got to make. It's a subscription, gives you access to over 20 videos about how to set up your business to take it through from the design phase through the control phase, through the chaos stage into the control phase, and then really into that, that high performance part leading on to where we can actually sell the business perhaps. Be sure to get across there and just check that out. So elitebusinessadvisory.com/academy, and just have a look through that. Have a look at the 21 silver bullets. Because guys, I was talking to actually one of my clients today, and I said, you know what? We spend 4 years at least, well, I did, learning a trade to get the credentials as a carpenter joiner. And yet we just want to go out there and make money and don't think there's any education. Folks, if you wonder, what education do I need to become a business developer or a competent business owner, I would encourage you, elitebusinessadvisory.com/academy. There's 21 silver bullets that will open your eyes to that which you really need to focus on. Righto, folks. So look, that was short and sharp, but we're really focusing on. What I'll do is I'll give you a bit of a heads up. So if you've just bombed in on part 2 of this 3-part series, what we've gone across in episode number 169, project planning, site safety procedures, permitting and compliance and quality control. That was episode 169 as far as the standard operating procedures. In episode 170, we've covered off subcontractor management, communication protocol, change order procedures, material and equipment. And then in episode number 171, we're actually going to cover off budgeting and cost control. We're going to cover off document control, closeout procedures, and environmental management. Stick with us. Make sure you have a listen to this a few times. Really work hard on developing one S.O.P per week, and you're on your way to developing a systemized business, an operations manual perhaps, and your business will be better for it. And of course, I would like to think that your profitability would be there and you would have a better lifestyle, and the business is going to pay you a dividend for the hard work that you are doing, which you are well deserved of. Go and continue to build that kick-ass business. I will see you on the next episode. Cheers.